Hey everybody, it's Gail, and today I want to show you a little tank top that I made out of Everyday Crochet, which is a Doris Chan book from 2006. It is sadly no longer in print, although it should be, personal opinion. But there is an Internet Archive copy that I can link you to down in the basement so that you can flip through it as a PDF. You will need to make a user account for the Internet Archive, but I've had one for years. They don't email you. They never talk to you. It's great. Also, check your local library. This was a very, very popular book when it came out for a very good reason. And there is a reason that I wanted it in my library, even though it is almost 20 years old. And the reason for that is because Doris Chan is the absolute queen of drape and shaping and fit. All right? If you want to learn how to make crochet stuff that fits you, get this book. I got this from thrift books. You can find it all over the place still. But yeah, love this book. And the point of the book, from Doris's perspective as the designer, is to teach you how to drape and shape and fit. And the introduction is honestly super fun to read because she just clearly, she knows her shit, and she also trusts that you can learn it. And one of her big things is she reminds you have to block things. You absolutely have to block things. And I know that sounds kind of ridiculous to hear, but trust me when I tell you, I tried to not block things for a very long time, and it does make a huge difference. I block everything I absolutely can now. It's night and day. But the other point of the book is to start you out with a smaller, easy-ish project. And I say easy-ish because you do have to do a little math here and there. And then build on that and build on that and build on that so that you're making things that have different ways of shaping, that have different drape, different style. And they're all great. There's like 2 patterns in the book that I laugh at because they're very, very 2006. But even that is adjustable with like changing colors, or maybe you just like it, and who fucking cares that to me it looks like it's 2006. If you like it, you make it. That's what you should do. But I ended up making the very first pattern in the book, which is the Cameo top. And so this is a top that you make the front neck piece and the back neck piece separately, and then you join and add the space for the underarm as part of the join, and then you work down in rounds. It took me a little bit to get used to how Doris writes patterns because there are pattern rows for the front and back pieces, and then there are pattern rows for working in the round. And I got a little confused when I was starting out, but what I did is I wrote up how I figured out what I was supposed to do, and I've written that up, and it's on my website if you need to go look at it. And it's just that the patterns are written slightly differently than I'm used to working with. It's not a bad pattern. It's surely not hard to follow, but this is not the standard way that people write patterns, and so I thought a cheat sheet might be nice. So that's waiting for you over on my website. I will link it down in the basement. This is made of DK weight yarn, and I used Silk City Fibers Bambu cotton, which comes on a cone of 1,100 yards, and actually it was perfect because I bought it at Fiber Rhythm here in Portland, and I love Silk City Fibers, and I love the green, and I thought, do I have anything in my sort of short list of wanting to work on projects that needs this amount of yardage or less in a DK weight? And DK weight is not as popular as a lot of the other weights, but then I realized I did have this Cameo top in my, to get there list, and that the largest size of the top in the book is about 1,100 yards. And I thought, well, great. I won't need the largest size now that I have the small and naturals. So I will have enough yarn to make it, and I'll have yarn left over to do something with. And I used I'd say about 2/3, I think it was, of the cone to make this. This is the size 37 because that's the size of my boobs. And there are short rows in here to give just that extra bit of stretch so that rather than it being super tight on my body because it's exactly 37, and doing the like ruck up that happens sometimes when it's exactly your size, with the short rows, that adds a little more room for the widest part of my boobs to fit, so it does that, basically. In fact, here's a photo of me wearing it. And yes, it is a still photo, so you can't see how it actually moves, but I wore it around for a bit. It did not bunch up on me. It was great. Big recommend on the short rows. Love them. So also, this is done in a shell stitch pattern because Doris loves a shell stitch, and it's actually in the introduction of the book. She explains why she uses shells, and it's because that's how you get good shape and a little bit of stretch and nice drape, is that you use stitches that will do those things as part of how they are made. And that is what a shell stitch does. It allows for some flexibility. So once you make the entire body of the tank top, then you actually come in and you work around the outer edge here to make the armhole and the strap on both sides, and then you work the neckline. So it is a very quick little project, a good weekend project, and I know that I stitch faster than other people generally, so I try not to say that, oh, it's a good weekend project, you can totally knock it out, because, like, I don't know how fast you stitch, but for my size and my speed, I had it done in about a day. And again, I also forget to take breaks, so caveats all around about, like, if it's a good weekend project. The point is, in a fairly small amount of time for making yourself a garment, you can have this really beautiful, very comfortable, very breathable, as long as you remember to use a good breathable fiber, little tank top for the summer. So big recommend. Love it. Honestly tempted to make like 4 more, because then, just have them in a drawer, and that's what I wear in the summer. I'm I'm looking forward to the summer for a number of reasons, not just to wear cute little tops, but because it's been a very, like, I think I said this last winter too, but like, it's been so gross this winter. And I know it was gross. It's gross every winter, but it's like, it's been more gross. It's been an experience. But who cares? Yeah, no notes about the pattern except for writing up kind of how to read the pattern, just because I got confused, so you might get confused, so, I can help. Yeah, I think that wraps it up there. As always, if you enjoy what I do here, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and I will see you when I see you.